What's up, everyone? Welcome back. It's Forgotten Circus. So there's a time when it's not just a movie, it's not just anime, it's art. I'm gonna be giving my spoiler review on Predator, Killer of Killers. Hulu's nailing it, man. They are nailing it. They're nailing it with this franchise. Isn't it always great when the Predator and Alien franchise are they got their 1 foot forward and they're walking in the right direction finally. So I'm a big sci-fi guy, so I love the Predator franchise. I'm not going to talk about Xenomorphs and aliens because this is devoted to art. Beautifully made, beautifully sketched. So let me get into the first. So it's technically 4 parts, 3 parts, right? So it starts off with, I forget her name, Mama Viking. It's in Viking times or whatever, and war is going on. You know, they're kind of moving on. It's a mom and her son. I'm just going to call her. Can I call her Lagatha? She reminds me of Lagatha. She's a shield maiden. So, and if anybody has watched Vikings or know about the Viking Nordic cult, the Viking culture, shield maidens are just badass as the men. So, yeah. That was amazing. We got to see they look like one of those super predators, ones that they have enhanced because it was a lot bigger. You got to see there's a lot of new weapons in here that I don't think they can do in live action. I get it, but can you try? But so it starts off with her. She gets in a fight with that. She's fighting, winds up her losing her son. Of course, he's going to go to Valhalla. He fought. He died in battle, and this one was okay. I think she was better later. Her story wasn't as good as the samurai. I forget their names. The only one I can really remember is Torres. There's so much going on. It's so beautiful because I keep forgetting because I'm looking at how beautiful and amazing it looks. Right color tones, like. They really did a good job on this. They really did. So it starts out. I'm going to speed through some of it because I want to get into some of the spoilers, Easter eggs too. So you got that, and then she winds up fighting, falls into the lake. I don't know how she froze. She didn't freeze or get hypothermia, but okay. You know, it's an anime. I mean, we do it in live action movies too. So yeah, she finally beats that one. That one was very unique. You get to see a lot of different types of predators. You know, Youches. I'm sorry, Youches, because they're Youches. We call it the predator. But yeah, so she gets out, and then you're finding out that they're putting most of our warriors in cryostasis, and it'll take a piece from that area or that time frame, and go from there. Like a weapon. So I did like that they've been taking some of us. So you see her get taken off, and then we get to what is this one called? The sword, right? I forget what the first chapter was called, but the sword with the 2 brothers. You get the 2 brothers, and then the dad of the year has them pick. Do you want to be the next leader and get the samurai armor? Or do you want to die? It's almost the lone wolf and cub thing. Yeah, what a great father. But it built character for the both of them. So then they do their little fight when they're kids. The one brother kind of escapes and then goes on a pilgrimage of finding himself, and he's gonna get the revenge because he finds out, he hears the bell rang. That means the shogun has died, which is their father. So somebody's got to take the mantle. So obviously his brother basically is next in line anyway, by default, kind of, but it can be challenged because they never actually really fought. The other one just kind of dipped. I did like the scenes, man, the rooftop scenes in this. Oh, it looks so amazing when he's running through. He's got a stealth outfit on, his assassin outfit. And he's taking out all the other the samurai that are there. That was amazing. Action was great. The stuff he was using with the smoke and the powders to disappear and distract was beautifully done, made sense. And there's a lot of comedy. They were good with the comedic lines in here to kind of lighten the mood. I did notice that, because when that happened, he did all that. He's about to get into the Shogun's well, maybe eventually the Shogun's lair, right? And one guy sees him and he's just like, how any of us would do. Fuck. Oh well. And then he just starts being loud, you know what I mean? Then he starts fighting his brother, and the Yautja is watching him the whole time, because he's coming for the best warriors. So he's watching like, he's invisible. I like that too. When he cloaks, he was like, okay, let me see how this plays out. Let me see these two brothers fight. So the one brother wins, knocks his other brother off the top of the rooftop, which was a beautiful shot too, especially the falling shot. And you think he's dead. So then the Yautja uncloaks, and then they start fighting. You see some new items. Now, let me tell you something about the Yautja, or the Predators. They do have the honor code, but they stretch that to the max, because there's plenty of times in this one when they were definitely cheating and not playing fair. But they start fighting. The one brother starts fighting, and then they fall to the ground, and then the brothers are about to fight, and he goes, shh. I forget the two names, but only one lives. Spoiler alert. So then he sees the Yautja, his brother, and then they start fighting the Yautja together, back to back, army of two style. And they finally get the Yautja. But is he really dead because he's cloaked? So then they see that one leaf drop. It was beautiful how the leaves were dropping and everything. Oh, great animation. And it hits where the Yautja is, and you think they're going after each other, and they cut that Yautja in half. But unfortunately, the other brother, which was not the one that escaped and came back, but the one that was basically Shogun by default, he passed away, and his brother, they had a really good thing. And then they take him, okay, because he's one of the best warriors that they've seen for that time. Then we get to Torres, World War II. And this one, really, I was like, this is going to be trash. And they were like, spikes in the air. And I was like, spikes in the air. We've never really seen a dogfight between a Yautja ship and our ships, even though it was World War II ships. So you get the story of Torres got drafted. He's kind of a mechanic. He wants to be a pilot. There's a captain that kind of believes in him, but like, hey, man, if you can't fix a plane, you can't be a pilot, right? It's one of those kind of hard-nosed, kind of tough mentor. And so they go out on this mission. They go out on this bombing run, protecting bombers, stuff's going down. And then the Yautja ships, obviously, and this was the first time you got to see another Yautja. This one was bald, right? It had no dreadlocks. And he had like a different, he didn't wear a mask. He had something else over his eye, which was pretty cool. Pretty cool concept that they showed. Yeah, you had that. And then they got you see dog fights in there, and if he wasn't doing, I'm telling you, he was doing some. This is when I saw the most elaborate Yautja weapons that I don't think can transfer to the screen. But man, that the large net on one of the fighters, and then he was doing the straight scorpion, get over here, with this grappling hook and pulling them out of the cockpit to the ship so he can start taking the spines, because they collect spines, right? So it's down to like the two, because Torres went up there. He's like, he knows what's going on. He was like, yo, bruh, we can't do this. Goes up. And that is crazy how they do. And him and the captain's believed in him, and they're about to get away. And the captain says, I'm going to buy you time. Buy you time, Torres. And he says, kill that. What he says, kill them. And Torres does not disappoint. So he takes out the captain or whatever. And then Torres is flying. He's flying weak. Remember, he's only flying with one engine because he kicked the old. So I don't know how he keeping that thing in the air. But Torres got it. He got a wrench as a throttle. The only thing he's got left is his gunner stick, right? Yeah. So that's intact. So he flies him right into the enemy in World War II, the fleet against fleet. And he said, it's so funny when he says, I never thought I'd want to see the enemy so much. So thankful to see the enemy so much. So he leads the Yautja ship through that, which is pretty cool. And then So it's getting bomb. They're hitting that thing too. He's dipping through, staying low. Then he does the cold thing. It's just beautifully. If you like air battles or how air movements, they nailed it in this. Even with his little trick that he does to take out the Yautja ship, and the Yautja was pretty cool. And they get him. So now I don't know if this is Yautja Prime they're on, but it seems like they keep a lot of humans in cryostasis and a lot of other creatures, which I'll get into later. So they're all together. They meet each other. They wake up Torres, and then they're kind of like, Yautja are kind of like honoring them, like, yeah, you're the toughest, but can you be him? So we still got to honor you, you know? So he meets up with them. No, there's a language barrier, which I really did like, because you got one speaking Viking, and then you got one speaking Japanese, and then you got the other one speaking American. That's what I call English. Speak American. But yeah, that was cool. Them trying to communicate. So then they get into I really think they get into this like gladiator arena, and they're going to have them fight with their selected weapons, right? Or not selected weapons that they choose from their time, you know. And this part was hilarious. So the one, I don't think that's Greyback. That is not Greyback. Is it Greyback? Please don't. Greyback is different. He really sticks by the honor code. Greyback wouldn't do what this guy's doing, or maybe he would. I don't know. I don't think, because you got Yautjas that you got bad bloods, you got your regular Yautjas that do regular things, right? You got bad bloods, you got the warlords, you got the King Yautja, right? And then there's like several other like factions in there, like, so bad bloods and like the smaller factions where the predators are a little bit smaller, because there is a height difference between the clans and stuff. But I don't think that's Greyback, and I don't think that was. Everybody keeps saying those are predator spines that he was wearing. I don't think so. They're xenomorph spines. They're xenomorph tails. I don't know where people got the spines from. They're xenomorph tails. They definitely are. Or correct me if I'm wrong, but they look more like xenomorph tails. So you get that. He said there can be only one, basically Highlandered them, and you got to fight to the death, and then you'll fight me, and then whatever. He really doesn't tell them if they get a prize or not, so it's kind of open ended. So then they get their weapons, and this part was hilarious. So the Viking, Mama old Lagatha, gets the axe, the Viking war axe, which is dope. Obviously, you know, the Japanese guy gets, you know, his blade, the samurai sword, and then poor Torres, when it comes up, he gets the flintlock Raphael Adolini pistol. Now they fixed some lore in this. They fixed some lore, and I like that. I hope people picked up on that. They fixed lore that people were worried about, and I'll get into that at the end. So he looks at his. He's like, "What is this?" He's like, "This isn't from my time period," which was hilarious, dude. So they get into this fight, and they're going back and forth, and they're like, and he said, "Yeah." And then there's bombs around the neck. They kill this other predator. I guess bad blood probably. They kill him. Not the team, but the other predators kill him as like a sacrifice. I guess they sacrifice somebody before this battle happens. That's what it looked like. It looked like a sacrifice. They notice there's bombs around the neck. They have to fight this other big Yautja creature, which is cool. We got to see another creature instead of those dogs from the Predator. That movie needs to be written off. Trash. That is the worst of the Predator franchise. You had AVP Requiem looking way better than you, dude. But so make a long story short, because I'm kind of I want you to really, really watch it again. Runs through. They finally team up, and they're like, "We got to do this." Torres, like the man that he is, finds a way to get one of their little hover ships. That doesn't work. He gets up. They're going to try and take the ship. Then all of a sudden, the King Yautja or Warlord Yautja. It's not Greyback. Please don't be Greyback. Please. That's not how Greyback moves, but okay. But yeah, you got that. They finally do that. They kind of rough him up. And then he saves the Japanese. They're about to fight to the death. And the Japanese guy saves Mama Viking and lose an arm. They get on the ship. But then that grappling hook comes out. Jeez. and they're pulling it back in, and then Torres and the samurai are like, "What the hell?" And then Mama Viking looks at him, and then she goes down. She's like, "Don't avenge me." She goes down, destroys the machine so they can get unhooked from the grappling hook, which is that part's dope too. Straight Shield Maiden Lagatha style, baby. Risk it all. So, and I like how she says, "I want to go Valhalla with my son," and she was like, "It's so funny how you did all this, and my boys still got away." So she considers them family now. So there's definitely going to be more. They're definitely going to continue this. So we're going to get another couple coming with them in the storyline. They're going to add another character to it. So I like this part. So then they get off. They put her back in cryostasis, and then you see this whole like warehouse full of cryostasis tubes. Like you got some weird alien with what alien was that? And I think, correct me if I'm wrong here. Can we do Michael Biehn right? And there's one when they're going through, and I think that's a Space Marine. I think that's Michael Biehn. That would be dope if that's Hicks. Do that for him. He can voice it. Come on, let's get Hicks back, man. It's like now, but different franchise. I get it. That'd be cool if they put Hicks in there with the Predator. That'd be cool. If anybody know who's Corporal Hicks is, okay, kind of badass. But anyway, they're going through the tubes, and then they're putting her away, and then Torres and them are getting hunted by them, so I'm pretty sure they're going to crash and have to find their way back. There's going to be stuff in the future for this, which is going to be cool. So I really like that. And then the fact that who was it? So they're going past the tubes, they're putting them back in cryostasis, and then we run past Naru. She's in one of the tubes, and they emphasized showing her. And man, can I say that artwork? I think they mapped that over what's her name? Is it Amber Mint Thunder? She's so gorgeous too. One of the finest Native American women I've ever seen in my life. And they're always very beautiful, but she is something else. But yeah, Naru. It's Naru, right? In the tank. So now that fixes the flintlock for Kerrigan. Kerrigan in Predator 2. But so that's Greyback that has it in Predator 2, right? I think that's Greyback that has it. The Yautjas live for 1,000 years, apparently. So they can live a long time, and some can live longer because they can cryostasis themselves too. So, but their natural lifespan is still like 1,000 years. So now you know how the pistol probably got to him and got to Kerrigan, and yeah. Kerrigan or Harrigan? Yeah. Danny Glover's character. But I like that Easter egg. I like the Easter egg, the pistol, and Naru. So we got more stuff coming up. Beautifully shot. If you haven't seen this, go watch it. It is amazing. I kind of ran through here a lot. There's probably some stuff I missed. But you got to see these laser things that wrap around the planes, and then he throws the hook in, and it's like the webbing, and he like Spider-Man that shit. It was dope. But anyway, that was my little spoiler review of that. And that's all I got. So, oh man, I'm going to go watch it a bunch of times. I may be doing some lore video on the Yautjas too, because I don't know if that's Yautja Prime. It kind of looks like Yautja Prime. I don't know if it's Predator King, because now we got Predator Badlands coming up, and that looks, the one with the gray hair and the black and the sword, is because Greyback had a sword. I think it's the top elders that have the sword, and everybody used the other stuff. Because Greyback had a sword right in there, and then this guy has the power sword. So we'll see. We'll see with the Predator Badlands. So this is good hype up to Predator Badlands. So definitely watch this before you watch Predator Badlands. So I'm excited about that too. But anyway, that's all I got. Like, comment, subscribe, and I want everyone to subscribe, and I do mean everyone.